I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Welcome, everyone. This is Monday, May 6th. If you have any questions or comments during these proceedings, come up to this microphone here, give your name and address, and tell us what's on your mind. Call the roll, please.
Cedar?
Here.
Ellery?
Here.
Kinswater?
Here.
Krupa?
Here.
Laporte?
Here.
McCartney? Watt?
Here. Make a motion to excuse McCartney. Support.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, consent agenda A, City Council minutes of April 15th, 2019, regular and closed meetings, recommendation approved. And B, the Golf Commission minutes of October 30th, 2018, recommendation received.
Motion to approve A and B as presented.
Support.
All right, the motion is made. Support. Any questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Number 5, we have proclamations tonight. National Police Week is May 13th to the 19th of 2019. Whereas the Congress and the President of the United States have designated May 15th as Peace Officers Memorial Day and the week in which May 15th falls as the National Police Week. Whereas the members of the law enforcement community of the City of St. Clair play an essential role in safeguarding the rights and freedoms of the citizens of our community. Whereas it is important that all citizens know and understand the duties, responsibilities, hazards, and sacrifices of their law enforcement agency, and members of our law enforcement agency recognize their duty to serve the people by safeguarding life and property, by protecting them against violence and disorder, and by protecting the innocent against deception and the weak against oppression. Whereas the men and women of the City of St. Clair Police Department unceasingly provide a vital public service, I therefore, William Cedar Jr., Mayor of the City of St. Clair, on behalf of the St. Clair City Council, call upon all citizens, upon all patriotic, civic, and educational organizations to observe the week of May 13th to May 19th as Police Week in the City of St. Clair. I further call upon all citizens of the City of St. Clair to observe Wednesday, May 15th as Peace Officers Memorial Day in honor of those law enforcement officers who, through their courageous deeds, have made the ultimate sacrifice in service to their community or have become disabled in the performance of duty. And let us recognize and pay respect to the survivors of our fallen heroes. Signed and sealed, May 6, 2019. National Police Week, May 13th to May 19th. All right, we'll go to reports of administration. Mr. Booth.
Your Honor, I have a couple items this evening. I'd like to start by saying that the city's first draft of the 2019-20 fiscal year budget is on your table this evening. A budget hearing will be held at our next council meeting, which is May 20th. I encourage each of the council members to reach out, and we'll schedule a meeting and so we can review the draft. Next item, M29. The state is redoing M29 South Riverside to Reamer Road. They're going to do a mill and fill. Mr. Beath went to a meeting for us this past week, and I believe they're going to keep that open. They're not shutting it. Is that correct?
Correct.
Yeah. So again, that's, I don't know if you drove that area today, you'd see that the state was out there with their trucks marking some of the roadway. So again, from South Riverside, right there by just south of Cargill, all the way to Reamer. So
When is that?
that's going to start, they're starting some of the prelim this week, and I don't know how much they'll get into this week as far as, but it's going to be a mill and fill. It'll be quick. 5 days total?
Okay.
Okay, and then one other item, due to the rain that we've had recently, Henry Street, South 11th, and Thornapple, it has been moved back 1 week. Still needs to be completed by the end of June, so I'll keep you posted of any other changes on that. That's it for this evening.
All right, anything for Mr. Booth? All right, Mr. Downey, you have anything?
Nothing this evening, Your Honor.
C is city departments.
Yes, Your Honor, 2 things. Another reminder of the special election tomorrow. Polls are open 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. And also, hopefully the rain cooperates and goes away for tomorrow. We're having our very first Food Truck Tuesday. Eli's Eats in the Streets will be present in the scenic turnout, which is the north end of Palmer Park, from 10 to 2. And depending on how that goes, we'll invite more food trucks, and it will always be a Tuesday. Maybe the hours will change, so keep an eye out for advertisements, but let's welcome Food Truck Tuesday tomorrow, 10 to 2. That's all, Your Honor.
All right. Go to the authorities, boards, and commissions. Anybody have anything?
Yeah, Golf Commission, we have Beith here, and the golf course is just working on repairing the irrigation system. Bob, can you sort of update us on where we're at with that and how everything's going?
St. Clair Nurseries, they have all the piping is done. All that's left to do is connect up all the wires. We're almost ready to pressure it up. And it would have been finished if it wasn't for the weather. But we're almost there. Just need a few sunny days and it'll be done.
Questions from Mr. Beith? Thanks, Bob. Anybody else? All right, let's go to number 7. We have no unfinished business. We'll go to new business. A, approve recommendation to revert property at 678 North Riverside from PUD to R1. Mr. Downey?
Your Honor, before the City Council is a recommendation from the Planning Commission meeting in April to change the designation of the property at 678 North Riverside from PUD to R1. In order for City Council to adopt that recommendation, it must be done in the form of an amendment to the zoning ordinance. So the motion that would be in order tonight would be to instruct administration to prepare that ordinance for introduction at its next meeting in May, and ultimately for adoption in June. And I believe that Mr. Gendernalik is present here this evening as well, and I think he would wish to address the City Council at this time as well.
Good evening, Gary Gendernalik. My business address is 24001 Greater Mac and St. Clair Shores. I live in Chesterfield. I represent Wally and Donna Evans. Jim and I talked last week and tonight, and because it's going to be tabled to your next meeting, I'll put a position letter on behalf of the property owners between now and then, so you understand our position on this, because it's my understanding you're not going to take any action tonight. My just question is your next meeting going to be May 20th?
Yes.
Okay. At 7 o'clock.
Yes.
And then procedure, is that okay with you?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. So the motion tonight will be to have you draft an ordinance to enable us to change it from PUD back to R1.
That's correct. In other words, to give effect to the Planning Commission's recommendation.
I'll make that motion.
Support.
All right, the motion is made, support. Any questions? Call the roll, please.
Ellery?
Yes.
Kinsfater?
Yes.
Koopa?
Yes.
Laporte?
Yes.
Watt?
Yes.
Cedar?
Yes.
Carried, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. We'll go to B, approved purchase of 2019 Ford F-250 plow truck.
Yes, the Department of Public Works has asked for the replacement of one of their pickup trucks that they use for snow removal. It would obviously be used for more than just snow removal. It's a Ford F-250, and it's a 2019. And Mr. Beith is here this evening if you have questions on the vehicle itself.
What do we do with the old vehicle?
Be disposed of in the state of Michigan auction.
It's a 2002 you're replacing?
Hearing no other questions, Your Honor, I make a motion to approve.
Support.
Any questions? Call the roll, please.
Kinsfater?
Yes.
Koopa?
Yes.
Laporte?
Yes.
Watt?
Yes.
Ellery?
Yes.
Cedar?
Yes.
Carried, Your Honor.
Thank you. Thanks, Bob. C, approved pension corrective action plan. Mr. Booth.
Yes, at our April 15th council meeting, council approved a one-time contribution to the city's pension trust fund in the amount of $250,000. Since then, I have established, with the help of MERS, a new surplus division where these additional funds will be deposited. I ask for council's approval of the corrective action plan that was included in your packets. The corrective action plan includes the additional $250,000 which was approved at our last meeting. It also highlights prior benefit reductions that have been made, and it also lists some prospective changes going forward. The plan conservatively estimates that 60% funding will be reached by 2027. Projections without any additional funding would have resulted in 60% by the year 2025. So again, we're being very conservative in our approach. Further, the plan calls for an annual review following the city's financial audit and before the new budget is set. So it'll be about the same time next year. We'll take a look at it, see what our funding rate is, and see if we should contribute some additional funds. At 12/31/2017, the outstanding liability, and I know I've mentioned these numbers before, the liability is $22,953,842, while the assets were $13,090,612, or 57% funded. So, again, this corrective action plan needs to go into the state, and I ask for approval.
So moved.
Support.
Any questions? Call the roll, please.
You got a question?
I'm sorry. Mr. Kleeman?
What are we gonna do from here on out to help it out?
What are we going to do? We'll continue. We've made changes
You said
to,
there's changes coming, what are they?
until they're made, I can't elaborate, though. We are negotiating with our unions currently to make changes.
That's it? That's the only changes going
Well,
forward?
we've reduced benefits and increased contributions made by employees. Those are all things that we've done.
So you mentioned things forward. Back, what's forward?
More things of the same nature, Bill.
Okay.
Any other questions? All right, call the roll, please.
Kufa?
Yes.
Laporte?
Yes.
Watt?
Yes.
Ellery?
Yes.
Kinsfater?
Yes.
Cedar?
Yes.
Carried, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. We'll go to D, special events permit St. Clair Beer and Wine Festival. Chief?
Good evening. Well, first of all, thank you for the proclamation for Police Memorial Week, and for the citizens here and those sitting at home. You remember the McDonald family, because in October of 1962, Chief McDonald left his family and served the citizens of St. Clair and never went home. He got hit by a car and died, so remember their family on Police Memorial Day also. I'm here for the Beer and Wine Festival, number 2. This has been interesting, and I know Mr. Flynn has stood at this microphone saying that people at City Hall have stonewalled him. Nobody at City Hall or the police department has stonewalled him. I don't have time to stonewall him. I don't have time to take people by the hand and walk them through. He finally has most of the paperwork in. So it's before you for approval. The issue I have is on his liquor license, he says the police department will provide security, which we can't. I don't have the manpower to do that. So I'll have to talk to him before I sign the liquor license if you approve this event. Other than that, all his paperwork's in, and if you choose to approve it, then you may approve it.
Any questions for Chief? All right, we might bring you back up, but maybe not. Is Mr. Flynn here? You want to have some words?
Yes, Council, thank you for your time. Chief, we put the same thing on every application, so if that needs to be crossed off, that's not a problem. This is our 5th year for this event. Every year we've submitted the same application, Ultimate Fun Productions and the Social Connection. Our event, we've never had any issues. We didn't have enough porta-johns last year. That was the issue that we've had any years going forward. Last year we talked about moving it across, or a couple years ago at the event, I spoke to the mayor about possibly moving it across the street. Last year we looked into moving it across the street. There was construction going on. We couldn't move it across at that particular time. So we looked at doing it this year. So we're asking the council to approve this event. It'll be a great event, and we look forward to doing it for many years. We're going to, we're working with youth sports scholarships charity. Kim is here in the audience if you need to hear from her. But there's also other local charities that we're going to give to. I spoke to Jane at Kids in Distress. We're going to give a little bit of we're going to give money to her because she was going to be in this initially and decided to back out after getting some numerous phone calls. But we're going to still continue to support her, as well as we're going to give money to some other Hunter Hospitality House, Daydreams Farms, the Arc at St. Clair County, the Lilito's Legacy Foundation. So we're going to give to local charities I don't know if anybody has any questions for me, but it's been a successful event for years. We look forward to giving back to the community like we've always given back to the community, and to have a successful event.
What percentage of the givings of the local charities are actually local, and the percentage that's going outside of St. Clair? Is it entirely St. Clair local?
Well, we had to go outside of St. Clair to get a charity because we had a little bit of issues with a local charity. They were getting some phone calls and were scared to proceed along because it could ruin them. So of the charity that's going out, I would say that it's going to be probably 35% going to the outside charity, whereas 65 would stay in. Whereas if we would have used that one charity, 100% would have stayed in. So what we look to do is, and when I spoke to Jane today, she was apologetic. She's been seeing that some truths have been coming out, and she's looking forward to working with us in the future.
Can that be changed to 100% staying local?
Well, we're going to up our donation this year, so I guess we can look to say on this one for this year, we can give as much as we gave back last year locally, and still need to give to the charity that's coming in a part of it. I mean, I can have Kim speak to it. She does the sports scholarship charities. It's going to be a lot of the contributions going to hers to other charities. So I'm sure that they can work with it to get as much as possible. We wanted to keep it all here, and we had it all set. We had an agreement with the charity, and then she received numerous phone calls from people to say that if they move forward with this event, they would not get the support of the community of doing other donations to their charity. So it was pretty sad that that happened.
How many tickets do you have sold to the event?
Right now, we currently have over 500 tickets sold. But as to that, all of the past years, we've always sold tickets prior to even the approval. Even the first year, we didn't even put the application up till, the application didn't go up till June 15th for a July 31st event. Last year, the event wasn't until before 90 days. You know, the whole paperwork thing is even on, in 2017, we got an email from the clerk saying your event is approved, but the liquor license is not even up yet. So there's been approvals up before without the liquor license going through. So it was confusing this year to all the added scrutiny that we faced. I understand that there's things that need to be happening and things that need to go in, but based on all the other years, there's been nothing different besides we're working with a different charity. This has been our event from day one. We came up, we put in our application. If you look at our application from 2015, Ultimate Fun Productions and the Social Connection, benefiting the St. Clair Chamber of Commerce. It's the benefiting. They're not owning it, it's not their event, it's none of that. It's been our event. We came here. We produce events all over the state. We give a lot of money to charities in all different communities, and we want to continue to do this. We're looking for later this week to submit to do a bourbon and barbecue festival in September based on how well this one goes. We know it's been challenging because we haven't pushed the full advertising like we always have, but it'll come. We know we got people that already reserved spots in the marina that are coming, but two events should be able to be supported. We have no problem, the other event that's going on. And if we need to, make adjustments for the boardwalk, that day we could open up the boardwalk, or we can have security walk people down the boardwalk to the other side if we're worried about closing up that boardwalk for a 4-hour period during the event.
Matt, in your application, you'll list Summer Scholarship Fundraiser as the charity.
Yes, Kim Mellon's here from that.
What were the ones you just told me a minute ago?
The ones that we're going to give here that are locally are Kids in Distress, the Lolitos Legacy Foundation, the ARC St. Clair County, Daydreams Farms, and Hunter Hospitality House.
And you've talked to all those people?
We have not spoken to those people, but we're just going to give them donations. But we spoke to Kids in Distress. I'm sure that, I give donations all the time. You don't have to speak to somebody to say they're going to donation. I didn't want to go to them and say, hey, we're going to give you this money. We don't even have an approval yet. But, you could look at the books after, and if we don't give to these charities and we don't give a significant amount, like as we will lay it out on the table and show you, then never approve us again for another event up here. It's not what we're looking to do. We're looking to continue to stay in the community, to do potentially other events here. This event's been happening for 4 years. We've produced it, we've ran it, done everything for it.
What's the thinking behind having the fence all along the boardwalk? I mean, all right up the rail,
Well,
not back on the grass.
just like we've been looking for a couple years to possibly move it down there. It's like people then can walk up while they're at the event. They can go up and they can have their beer in their hand, or they can have their wine in their hand, look at it, get a picture with the backdrop. But if we need to throw a fence all the way along the boardwalk where they can only go 5 or 6 feet off of that, that's not a problem. Or we can take and just escort people and walk them from one end of we can have security at both ends where the boardwalk is, and now just have extra security. If people are making a walk, we can just say, okay, enjoy your walk, and we'll just have extra security so they're not coming into the event.
Any questions for Mr. Flynn?
I guess, I mean, you stated, Mr. Flynn, that nothing's changed in 4 or 5 years. The biggest change I see is your location. I mean, you've moved from private property, you want to have the event on public property. And I see that you do charge admission of $50 or $65 for VIP. And myself, I just have problems charging citizens of St. Clair $50 to get into their park. I mean, I think your event is fine if you can find a place to have it, but I'm just not good with it in the park, sir.
He's not taking up the whole park, though.
I don't care.
Well, and the same thing, I think it sets a precedent.
It does. When this next person comes in here and they want more, you're gonna tell them, I mean, do we have anything set that you can have half the park, quarter of the park? I mean, you're gonna set a precedent, and I'm not good with it.
Well, so what I can do is I can make it a free event, and if somebody wants to drink, they would have to pay that fee to drink. So I have no problem doing that. We'll make it a free
That I could probably
event.
accept.
People come in, but if they want to drink, you got to buy your glass and your tokens, and there you go.
You can do that right now?
I can make that change. We run
What are you
the
gonna do with your 500
event.
tickets?
Pardon?
What are you gonna do with your 500 tickets?
They already paid. They'll get their glass, they'll get their drink tickets. So if somebody comes in the event, they can come in for free, but if they want to drink, they got to buy that ticket in order to drink. So the public can still get in for free.
How are you gonna be able to differentiate that with wristbands or something?
Yeah, they need to have a wristband to even get a drink. They need to have their glass to even get a drink.
Okay.
So they won't be able to. They can come in, they can enjoy the entertainment, they can,
It'll still be fenced off, though?
it would still be fenced off, yes. We need that to contain for the MLCC.
For the liquor license. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, as long as anybody can walk into the park, I'm good with, I mean, I'm all about supporting special events, trust me. But I'm not gonna support paying,
I don't know if I like
people
the
paying to
fence all
get
the way
into
down
the
to the
park.
boardwalk.
That's
Just because
fine.
I can see a lot of trash getting into the river.
Okay.
People dropping.
We could run a little bit, people are going to drop their glass in there?
Yeah. Drinks, garbage.
Okay. Yeah,
I'd
if
say
you-
run your-
if you
I'd say
feel
run
more
your fence line to the, or run your fence line to the boardwalk.
That's fine. We'll just run a fence coming across there. This way the flow of traffic coming across the boardwalk's not interrupted as well.
I like that idea better because there are an awful lot of people that walk our community.
Well, they just
Day
like
and
walking the
night.
boardwalk.
Yeah, day and night. Yeah. But I'm just cautious about setting a precedent. That's-
Well, if he's gonna allow people in for free to freely walk and they just gotta purchase their ticket, it shouldn't be any kind of
And
precedent.
then I'll get with the chief and we'll modify the map that goes up to the MLCC to take it right to that boardwalk. So we'll add snow fence along there.
You have your own security team?
I do, just like in the past. We have a security team. I don't know how the police got in there. I think we put it in there that we were coordinating, so we'll just cross that off.
They're also listed here to help cross the street, I think.
Police to
too.
help cross.
We were asking if we could get police to cross the street. We will have our own crossing people to get across the street. But if the chief thinks that we should do that, we will pay for an officer to be there if it's available to have an officer and pay them.
Will he be able to get those crosswalk signs put in the road there like we used to do for events?
I'm still confused about the charities. 4 years past, did 100% of the money go locally in the past?
The proceeds from, once we had proceeds that we donated back to the charity, yes, we as a producer make some money on the event.
No, that's what I'm
Right.
saying.
All the proceeds the charity stayed with the St. Clair Chamber. I have no idea what they did with the funds when they received them.
Oh, the state of the chamber, then they were responsible for dispersing them.
That's correct.
Okay.
We gave some to some other charities that donated time and came up and poured, so there were some other local charities that we gave to based on how many people they came to help pour and volunteer.
Because your previous statement, you said when you call people and you want to give them money, nobody turns you down. So I'm kind of struggling with this kids in distress, why they would want to turn down a donation.
Well, that would be not to say anything, but maybe you could call Jane from Kids in
But
Distress.
now they're coming around, right? So that,
Well, when I spoke to her, she is realizing the misguidance that's been out there, stating that it's not our event, when it is our event. I even have the trademark that's been filed, and we have all that trademark stuff. So there's going to be a lot of other stuff that's going to come to light based on all this, but they were scared and called, and people that have donated in the past to their charity were told that they wouldn't get continued donations to them if they went along
Gotcha.
to support this event. So she's still coming. She's going to see how it's run, and I'm sure that in the future, we will be doing the event with them.
makes sense, okay.
Anybody else on council? All right, if there's going to be a motion, the motion is going to have to include that the event becomes free and the fence comes off the boardwalk. If that motion is.
The event would be free entry, but
Right.
Yeah.
they still, in order to,
Right.
okay.
I'll make that motion.
I'll support it.
All right, the motion is made and supported to approve the special event with the changes that the fence comes off the boardwalk and the entry into the event is free. Call the roll, or any questions?
Yeah, way in the back.
When you,
He's got to come up.
You got to come up here, boss.
I'm sorry. The question is, and I know that we've been.
Give us your name and address too, sir.
Jim Meldrum,
Oh, Jim.
St. Clair, Newman Road. The question was, is it open to local vendors? So do you go to any of the local, let's say vendors that would have the different beer and/or wine, by the way, speaking to you from the wine house? Have you gone to any of the local vendors? Now, we're new, but I did not know if that happened or not. I knew that Warwater one time was involved, but I'm not sure that was the question.
Is still involved with the other one. It's a matter of who you distribute through. So we can talk after that and distribute you and get you through there and figure out a way to get you involved.
Okay, I just wanted to ask about the
There's no
vendors.
problem.
Thank
We'll
you,
talk
Jim.
after.
Okay.
Yeah, We'd love to have you.
Any other questions? All right, call the roll, please.
Laporte,
No.
Lot,
Yes.
Ellery,
No.
Kinsfater,
No.
Koopa,
Yes.
Cedar.
No.
Motion fails, Your Honor.
All right. We'll go to E, approve lease for St. Clair Beer and Wine Festival.
I don't think that's necessary.
We don't need to do that.
So that's unnecessary.
All right, we'll go to claims and accounts, April 18th and April 25th. Mr. Laporte.
Hearing no questions, Your Honor, I make motion to approve as presented.
Support.
Any questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We'll go to number 10, public comment. If you have anything, 3 minutes, please, is our limits on that. If anybody has any. Give us your name and address, please.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Steve, representing the St. Clair Art Association. I'm on the board and on the board for the art fair. And I'm here tonight to invite everybody to attend our art fair. We're at 48th Art Fair, the last full weekend of June. And we're really happy to report that we have about 100 booths lined up, total of about 106, some double booths. And the artists are coming in from in-state and out-state. And so we need everybody here to do a happy dance, a happy sun dance, so it doesn't rain that weekend. Okay, the last full weekend of June. We got some great things to announce. First of all, our Artful Dodger is part of the art fair. And it's got a different course this year, and we've added a 10K. So we have a 5K and a 10K. And what's really cool is we've got medallions or medals that are made in our potter shop. So they're going to be ceramic. And so it's really cool. They got a great look to them. They're light. And so it's all hand done. And it's, excuse me, I got a little bit of a cold. So we're really excited about that. So anybody that wishes to participate in that, You're welcome. And we also have a little event for the kids that's free to run. It's going to be running downhill. The run is going to take place on 3rd Street, or up 3rd Street, and then return back through 3rd Street. And I'm not sure exactly where all the course is going to go. But if you want to walk, you're welcome to walk. If you want to run, you're welcome to run. Everybody that needs to get in shape and get fit. Another part of our art fair is our raffle. So if you can't make the art fair, please buy a raffle ticket. This helps support the gallery. We're a nonprofit. And this helps keeps our doors open. And we also put a mark on your city of St. Clair. As you know, we have artists that come from out of state and in state, so it gives everybody a chance to come down and at least talk to the artists. Behind every piece of art, there's a story, so feel free to talk to the artists. My wife's a professional artist, so we will be there, and you're welcome to ask us any questions about the art or anything like that. We're known around the state and throughout the states and stuff like that. The raffle, we have, our tickets are $1 a piece, and it helps support our cause. And there are 9 prizes, and some of them are really, really nice prizes. So just to name 2 or 3, we have one of the packages is a 4 premium ticket and 1 parking pass to the 2019 regular season Detroit Tiger game. We have a necklace from Coghlan Jewelers valued at $1,500. We have a couple overnight packages, $200 in cash, and a few other prizes like that. So feel free to buy a raffle ticket, especially, well, buy one and then go to our show. If you can't make it to the show, please help support us. Some of our tickets will have a stand out by Neiman's, and that'll happen very soon. We have a featured artist. He's from the other side of the state, and he has been to Art Prize. If people that don't know Art Prize, that's a huge event that takes place in Grand Rapids. There's usually about 1,500 artists there, huge amount of money being awarded, and he was in the top 25. I'm not sure if he got like 2nd or 3rd place a couple years ago, but his work is amazing, and it's done by rock art and granite rock and that kind of thing, and his work is really, really good. He's going to be our featured artist, and he's from the other side of the state, and he's also been from Florida. We're really excited about this year, so we're hoping that everybody, if you can't make it, we're here to support your city. Our sales budget is tripled this year, so we're really hitting the advertising in Detroit. We're trying to bring down as much people as we can to this event. We want to put St. Clair on the map. And of course, the mayor, you're invited to come and talk to all of the artists. We appreciate you guys doing that. All your members, come on down and introduce yourself. They like hearing from you guys because it helps support. So please put it on your calendar, and hope to see you there.
Thank you, Steve.
Any questions?
Nope, what you're saying is come to the event, buy a ticket, but if you can't come to the event, buy 2 tickets.
We'll buy 2 or 3 or 4 tickets,
We got you covered.
Maybe 10. We'll
All right,
take it.
thank you.
But we do appreciate, so thank you very much.
All right, who else has got a question out there? I saw a hand back there, right there.
Oh, you got a question?
No, I think he wants to talk to us.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you, Steve.
Yeah, Tom Jaloski, South Riverside. We spoke previously about the sewer line. I know they came out and flagged back before the last snow. Flags are gone, and the sewer's still not fixed.
Mr. B, we got the sewer man right here.
Well, let's see, I've got about $2,800 in getting my sewer to where it'll drain, plus a flooded basement. So if you can do something, I'd appreciate it.
As of right now, the determination is that it's your lead, but they have to have a camera.
I've already paid $250 to have a camera ran out there and marked.
Well, I gotta have a camera run through our line.
When will that happen?
You're responsible for.
When will that happen?
As soon as I can schedule it.
Because, I mean, I was told this was all set, they were gonna come and fix this thing. We ran a camera out 250 feet almost to where it connects to the sewer line, and it's caved in there.
I have been to your house twice, I can't never catch you at home.
Well, let's see, I'm retired, I'm home every day. Come on out and have a beer. I'm there for you. That's a fair
Pretty
deal.
friendly invitation.
The second item I had was, I've heard about putting up gates at the mall parking lot for parking.
Yeah, that's not we don't have any.
We don't
control
have
over that.
anything to do with that.
That's a private property issue.
Okay, well, my question is, what are you gonna do for parking for these events? Gonna have an art fair? Gonna have boat races? Want people to come to St. Clair? And short of parking on the lawn in the park, or in the parkway, there's no place to park. Something to kick around, guys, before we just say, yeah, let's do it.
Thank you, Tom.
Thanks, Tom.
Anybody
I'll
other-
see you at the house.
Anybody else out there?
Bill Clayman, South Area. I got a couple questions. First one is, will we power wash in boardwalk?
Excuse me?
Did we power wash the boardwalk?
We have some people on, I believe, doing some sealant. We put in a boardwalk on, we want to seal it.
That's what they're doing, they're sealing it?
Yes.
All right. My next question is the bathrooms at Clutcha. That park's being used every weekend. What's the chances of getting the water turned on and the bathrooms open for these kids?
Get her done.
Well, obviously not, because they're not open yet, or the water's not on. My next question is schedule of crack sealing and sidewalk maintenance. Can I get a copy of it, what's gonna be done?
You're welcome to stop by and grab some, yes. I can tell you what we're doing.
What we're gonna do for sidewalk replacement
Yes.
and crack sealing?
Yep.
All
Stop
right,
seeing
thank
me.
you.
Thank you. Anybody else? Yes, sir.
Yes. Brian Ulatowski from the St. Clair Chamber, the president. I'd like to thank you guys, but I also want to show you the support that we brought with the chamber today. So please, if everyone who belongs to the chamber, if you guys could please stand up. We thank you for being here. Thank you for all the support, and thank you guys so much. Thank you.
Anybody else?
I'd just like to thank you for your time. I anticipated this. I already have it approved in another local city. We're going to transfer all our tickets there. And I doubt the other beer fest will happen, because once everything shakes and the lawsuit goes, that won't happen. And when we're rewarded for the lawsuit, I'm going to come back and donate to all those charities the money from the lawsuit. So thank you guys. I appreciate your time. It was great doing events here. I'm sorry you see it that way. And everybody here is going to get emails of a lot of different emails that went and transposed, so you can see the internal workings of your city, of what happened and what went wrong early on, how this should have been in front of you back in February, and it should have been looked at and approved. I'm sorry it's ending this way. I'll send you all invites to the event. Thank you.
Thank you, Matt. Anybody else? Let's go to number 11. Mayor and council members, I have two things. Number one, there's a lot of rain and water going on right now, and if anybody has any kind of issues like with water and you need sandbags and sand and all that, DPW has that on site. Bob Beeth will hook you up with that kind of situation. Is that accurate? All right, my next announcement is not going to go over very big, but today's Mr. Booth's birthday, and and it's a big one. It's a big number, right? So happy birthday.
Thank you, sir.
And I can tell you, I work with this guy every day. He absolutely hates that I just did that. Absolutely.
He don't look bad for 90.
Anybody else on council have anything? All right, we're going to go to number 12. I'm going to ask for a motion.
Wait, I got one thing. When are they gonna start doing something with the Coney Island?
I put a call in today, and he's not returned the call.
Because I thought they had so much time before that was complete.
No, us.
Well, then his building permit would expire.
Like I said, I got a call into him, waiting for him to call me back.
because since the haircutting place has been open, they haven't done anything in there.
All right. Anybody else? All right, then I will go to number 2 and ask for a motion to go into closed session to discuss strategy connected with the negotiation of collective bargaining agreement with employees represented by the police officers, labor union, Steel LLC. I'll ask for that motion, please.
I'll make that motion.
Support.
Call the roll, please.
Swat? Ellery?
Yeah.
Kinsfater?
Yes.
Koopa?
Yes.
Laporte?
Yeah.
Cedar?
Yes.
Carried, Your Honor.
All right, hey, we're going to be in this closed session for a while. You're welcome to stay and wait for us to come back. I do not anticipate us taking any action, but feel free to stay or leave. Thank you for coming. Thank you for your courtesy.